It was hard as a stand-up because I would have jokes about either the idea of dating or the idea of marriage or what that is. I can't be like, she's nagging me about this. Everyone's like, shut the up.
Our guest today is a writer, comedian, and ferry boat owner from Harvard University. That's right. He's a 2-time Emmy winner, 5-time WGA award winner, and a New York Times bestselling author, and the winner of $5,250 on the college edition of Weakest Link. You know him from his time as host of Pop Culture Jeopardy or from his almost 400 episodes on SNL. As the longest tenured anchor of Weekend Update, please, 92%ers, welcome Colin Jost!
Oh, let's fucking go!
There we go, baby. There we go.
I gotta savor that best intro I've ever gotten in my life. Where were you for every time I did stand up? Come on, that would be.
Listen, if you ever need a guide, need an intro. How many are you still doing stand up? Time out. Let's get to this.
Yeah. I'll still tour a little. I mean, now just with kids, like less than I used to, but I'll still probably do maybe 50 shows a year, something like that.
Oh wow!
Hell yeah, that's fucking badass. Yeah, Jason's always wanted to do it. I'm terrified of ever doing it. For people that would ever want to do stand up, what's your best advice?
Get ready to suck. I mean, it's different for you guys. Like you guys would already have instincts about it that are better, but when you're starting out, it's sort of brutal for a while because even things you're like, oh, that's good. You get out there and the rhythm's off or something, but some people are just naturally funny, and so you'd get away. You would already have a head start.
There's hope, Jason.
Are there a lot of Harvard grads in stand? Like, obviously, I know Conan, but is there like a pipeline of Harvard to comedian?
There are there was a guy, Dan Mintz, who was really funny, who did stand up when I was there. He still does stand up. He's a voice on Bob's Burgers, and he does a bunch of. BJ Novak, who was in The Office, he did stand up around that time too. I think there's more younger people that do it now that are there, but it wasn't a huge thing. It wasn't like there wasn't a lot of performers. Like Conan came from there. He did, but I don't think he ever really did stand up. I think he more did.
That's a good point. He was
like sketch stuff, and then did Tonight Show.
So you didn't go to Harvard to do stand up?
It didn't help.
They begged me not to.
Certain image we'd like to uphold at this institution.
I went there weirdly to do economics and then quickly abandoned that pursuit. There was someone at school with me who had written a book called Homeless to Harvard about their journey to Harvard. And I feel like now I have to write a book called Harvard to Ferry, where I'm like trying to go the opposite way, start in economics, end up in Ferry.
There we go. Perfect. Well, speaking of sketch comedy, we do have the SNL finale coming up this weekend. Pretty
awesome one. Will Ferrell and Paul McCartney.
Come on, man.
It's hard to beat that.
It's so good. People are like, is this the last episode ever?
Where do we go from here?
I know.
We had Will on here and we talked about his time on SNL and just comedian in general. But one of the things he said that I still take with me is just full send. He's like, if you want to do and you want to be a great comedian, and it's probably works for anything in life, but you commit hard. Where do you fall in line with that advice? Like, is that what you've kind of feel like has given you as much success in SNL as well?
Yes, definitely. There was no other plan. There was no like plan B. I feel like it was either going to work out or I was just not going to do anything. But Will, the other thing about Will that's so great is he always keeps a little bit of an element of surprise, which is so nice on a live show.
It's insane, man.
He would come in with like a different kind of costume, an element you did, like just adds an ascot or whatever, like something that you didn't expect. And when he enters the scene, even the people in the scene are like, all right, what is this? and just the fun, he has a genuine level of fun that he brings. Like he would come, when he was hosting, and he used to do this when he was in the cast, he just would come into the writer's room and he would wear like a scarf and glasses. And he would say he was a writer that they brought in from LA for the week. And he would just sit there and be listening, and he'd be like, yeah, maybe that one line, maybe you flip it. I could see if you maybe just flip it. And then he'd like order lunch immediately. Long, elaborate lunch order. Just like a guy that likes doing doing bits is the best energy.
Oh my gosh. It's so impressive, man. I can't say in a bit to save my fucking life, man. And this dude just does it just every minute of the day, it feels like. When you first jumped into Weekend Update, the first one that you ever did, were you terrified?
Oh my God. So good. The problem was, it was even weirder because I had been there as a writer. Like, I had just become head writer. Like, I felt like I was doing well as a writer, and I'd been doing stand up, but I was really doing a ton of SNL writing. And so at first I worried like I was going to be so bad that I would lose both jobs. They'd be like, "You're so bad on camera, we're also taking away your pen.
Oh, no.
We're not even letting you write anymore." And I was so nervous. Like, I remember just like drinking bourbon before I went on to calm my nerves.
Gotta stay loose.
And just the adrenaline immediately just burned it off. And it was weird because it was also like I was doing it in front of all my peers who I had been working with, the whole crew who I'd been working with. But then it's suddenly you're in a totally different role, and you're really self-conscious about it.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Now that you've been doing it for a while, is there one, is what's harder, writing or performing?
I think writing is harder. Like, it's hard to do. I don't know. I still find writing is hard. Like, it never gets really easy, but performing is just a whole other skill that you don't know if you have until you're doing it. Like, it's really hard to work at. You can get better for sure. Like, you can work at acting, you can work, like, it's a skill you can develop, but you also kind of need some spark or something that you don't, I don't know what it is, but you need something, and it's something that comes across on camera that is a little less, I don't know, definable. I don't know.
Oh yeah, especially when it's fucking live.
Yeah, I mean, I think whatever else I do in life will feel easier. Even if I do a movie, I'm like, oh, I can get another take. It's so liberating. Like, we never get a second shot. And as a writer too, like, you'll write something, and if there's something goes wrong, or someone flubs a line, or something, there's a technical cue, you never get to do it again.
Yeah,
right. And so when something actually goes the way you imagine it, you feel like it's a miracle. Like, you pulled it off, and you're so grateful that it came together.
So bad.
As you know, I'm sure there's, and I'm sure too, there's things you think are going to work, and then they don't. They and then there's things you're like, I don't know, maybe I'll try it, and then maybe it was something that surprised you when you hosted that worked.
Oh, I'm not even just on SNL. There's stuff in the football world that I'm like, this will guarantee happen. Coach, can we just put this in? And then we try it in practice, and there's like, it gets gloved and nothing. And I'm just sitting there like, Coach is right. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. He told me that wouldn't work.
That's good. I'm glad to know that happens there too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You've been working on the show for 20 plus fucking years now. Are there still like some starstruck moments, or any hosts or musical guests that are just like, holy shit?
Yeah, I mean, still, like, I feel like Paul McCartney is someone that's still, even though he's come around a bunch,
and it's just the coolest guy ever. Just a smooth cat,
like a beam of light.
Yes, sir.
Super. Yeah, super. Like, just, I remember this last year he was there for the 50th anniversary. He played, which was one of the most incredible ways you could end an episode of television, is to have him play the last 3 songs from Abbey Road. I mean, that was just seeing everyone from the original cast, from people who were there, like, watching in tears. What a great moment. And he was doing rehearsal, and so I told my parents, who were a huge fan. They were like, I was like, come down, you got to see this rehearsal. I'll sneak you in. And he's like, I see him, he's up there playing, and my dad calls, and he's like, we're getting in a cab now. And I was like, Dad, what are you doing? And just, they walk in comically, like, right after he had finished rehearsing.
Oh, no.
And I was like, guys, and Paul, like, he can sense, this is how great a human he is. I think he could almost sense that they had just missed it. And so after he finished playing, he like came up and was like, hey, how's it going? I'm Paul.
Nice. Still gave me a nice little kind memory.
Spent like 5 minutes talking to my parents, and it just immediately made the whole situation like even better than if they had seen him play. And it's like, he just has those instincts,
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
It was great too, seeing him try to get through crowded into the building and he's just wearing a hood. And someone's like, sir, you can't just walk in here. And he just like puts the hood up a little. And he's like, this way. Oh, you could do whatever you need, sir.
Yeah. Are you and Michael Shea going to do a joke swap at the finale?
Please.
Oh my God. That's 2 weeks away. So it's like the farthest thing from we haven't planned. I couldn't tell you anything yet about it, but I mean, we'll see. I'm sure we'll try to brainstorm some version of it, see if we can come up with something that would feel satisfying. It's hard to keep, and also I don't know if you noticed that, a little bit of a structural disadvantage.
Shea plays into it perfectly.
Oh God, it was the time I feel like I got him the most nervous, because he's such a Kendrick Lamar fan. When I started getting him talking, weighing in on the feud, like talking directly to Kendrick, I could tell he was really genuinely worried about what I was going to make him say.
Now I got him. Now you know what it's like for me every time.
Yeah. But I'm open to ideas if you guys got any pitches.
Yeah, we are the last.
Like you said, writing's hard. I can't even put a sentence together, actually.
I am curious, though, for that bit that's been one of the most longest tenured bits at this point, right, within SNL.
I guess that's like,
what is the process for that? Do you guys have any idea going into it? I know they do the rehearsal like right before the show, but like how much of a wild card are you truly like on the hook of like what am I about to get?
Oh well, so we have people ask about it. Well, it's we have a dress rehearsal, but at the dress rehearsal we do totally different jokes.
Yes,
so
and
cool.
sometimes they're more tame, sort of to lull the other person into a false sense of security. This one's not that bad.
You have an easy night here.
And then sometimes they're actually a little harsher, because you can make him say one thing that's not gonna air. So sometimes there's really been ones where he made me say a joke, and the host that week came up to me after and was like, "Are you okay?" Touched my shoulder. It was like, he can't do that to you, like that kind of vibe. It evolved because it started where we just wanted another chance to do jokes that the censor had stopped. So we originally did it as just jokes that we weren't able to tell early in the year. And then I perhaps foolishly suggested, wouldn't it be fun if we didn't know what was coming? And so it was like, oh, that made sense to give it to each other. And I remember Che being like, okay, all right. Sure,
yeah, we can do that.
And I was like, yeah, well, I really brought it on myself.
Well, thank you for doing it, because it's one of the entire fans of SNL's favorite bits, man.
It is thrilling to do, even though it is also terrifying. And my family every year is very worried for me. I remember my mom saying like, a Rosa Parks graphic came up, and my mom was like, I thought our whole family was going to end. We were going to have to just shut down the family.
Are we using the word bit correctly? This is another thing. There's I think so.
That is correct. I would say that too.
All right.
I feel like they're a little bit interchangeable. I would say I would describe that as a bit.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck that up.
Yes.
Boom. One for Travis. Fuck you, Jason.
Thank you to our partner, Mentos.
Some people are creatures of habit, ordering from the same restaurant, watching the same show, doing the same routine day in, day out.
And look, no judgment, but that's not for everybody.
Some of us crave a little surprise, a little what's next in our day.
And if that's you, you're going to love the Mentos Discovery Roll. Ooh, a little mystery.
It's got 14 unique flavors to discover, from fruity favorites like strawberry and watermelon to unexpected picks like passion fruit and black currant. Ooh, all in one delicious roll.
Add a little fun, a little flavor, and a whole lot of chew.
That's right. Refresh the everyday with Mentos Chewy Mints. Say yes to fresh.
Thank you to our partner, Liquid IV. All right, 92%ers, we've partnered with Liquid IV for an exclusive taste test of their newest sugar-free flavor, Ring Pop. Our interns have graciously volunteered to try it out. Jake and Brandon, can you do the honors?
Absolutely, I can. I got my water and my little mixing right here.
We got the Liquid IV.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. Ring pop flavor.
Oh, let's try it
Ooh,
out.
look at Jake's fancy cup.
It's a nice cup. Only the best for liquid IV.
We're pouring.
It's actually so good. That is dangerous.
Do a little stir.
It sounds very good.
Yeah. Honestly, when you see the flavors ring pop and you go, what does that taste like? And you taste it, you go, no, that's ring pop.
It really does taste like a ring pop cherry. Brings me back to like being at the town pool as a kid.
Yeah.
Just hammering ring pops. Brandon, you needed some electrolytes, huh?
It was a rough weekend, boys.
Hydrated.
I'm hydrated now.
It's got that nostalgia flavor bursting with tart cherry notes and the hydration you need. Just one stick in 16 ounces of water hydrates faster than water alone because of Liquid IV's Hydra Science. An optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients. It turns ordinary water into extraordinary hydration and comes in other delicious sugar-free flavors like white peach, rainbow sherbet, strawberry watermelon, and more. Say yes to unforgettable moments this summer with Liquid IV's new hydration multiplier in sugar-free ring pop. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first purchase with code NEWHEIGHTS at checkout. Thank you to our sponsor, Allstate.
Checking Allstate first could save you hundreds on car insurance. Not checking if your AC is working before the first hot day. Nothing like sweating through a 90-degree afternoon while waiting for the repair guy. Yeah, checking first is the right move. So check Allstate first for an auto quote. It could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois. I did want to ask you one other thing, which I don't even know if we're putting this in. For Weekend Update, is it harder now with how much the news cycle changes? Like, you guys start writing this stuff usually like that week earlier in it.
Yes.
I mean,
It
things
all gets
change
thrown.
every single
It all gets thrown out now. Like you could have a joke you love on Monday, and it's completely irrelevant. Like, so we do most of it now on Friday and Saturday. Like Friday and Saturday now is just wall to wall because it's all different now. It's like that's completely changed since when I started. And even the cold opens, like we used to have cold opens that we wrote for the table read on Wednesday, and they would still make sense as the top story. Now, like the top story is never the same between Wednesday and Saturday. So most of the cold opens now we write on Friday and Saturday too.
The times is changing.
They are.
It's changing.
That's fucking awesome though, man. Before we go anywhere though, we got to take a peek at this this 2005 card we have here. A little NBC Universal, baby.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I feel like the sideburns are so long, they may go underneath and connect under my chin.
I was going to say, you do a little Abe Lincoln. You just had to just straight along the chin strap there.
It also looks, I'm wearing like such a flesh colored t-shirt that it almost looks like I came shirtless to work.
Hey, your Bert Kreischer here. A young Bert Kreischer.
This is still my ID. So that photo still comes up for the security guard. And you could tell every time he's like, wait a second.
Time out.
This is still your photo?
Can you brush that hair forward real quick for me?
This is still what
No, I'm kidding. No.
That's hilarious.
It doesn't go forward anymore.
That's what the guy says. Thank you for showing me. Yep, you're clear. You're good.
I mean, I was just at a different place in my life, you know.
The burns, man.
What was the hiring process besides this wonderful photo?
I just walked up with that badge and I was like, people don't know. It's just a sign-up sheet.
That's it. Yeah.
The process was I wrote a packet of like 6 sketches. And people, we still, when I was head writer, like we still read hundreds of submission packets every summer.
Oh, wow.
And everyone goes through. So people's stuff gets read who submit to the show. So cool. And we still hire people from packs. If something makes you laugh, it's a rare thing. Like if you read a packet and you still, and something really genuinely just makes you laugh reading it, that's a really good sign because that's just rare to do.
Yeah,
sure.
But I submitted a packet one year before I got hired at the wrong time. Like I didn't even know when to send it in. And so I sent it in and then clearly no one ever read it because it was not a time they were looking for writers. And then I submitted in the summer and Tina was one of the head writers there. Harper Steele was another head writer there, and they liked some of the sketches that I wrote. I was very, very lucky. And so I came in and interviewed with them, and then I had to interview with Lorne the same day, which luckily I didn't even know I was going to have to do.
Why did you say luckily?
Yeah.
Well, because I would have been so nervous. I had less time to worry about it, because they were like, and we're just going to have you go interview with Lorne. I was like, oh, sure, cool.
Got it. Yeah, let's do it.
Because you're so nervous. I mean, actually, Will Ferrell, I don't know if you know this story, but he went to interview with Lorne, and he, as a bit, like, came with a huge suitcase full of money. And so he was like, I'm going to go in and be like, Lorne, if you're on the fence, maybe this would change your mind. and open the suitcase. And then he said he went in to meet with Lorne, carries in the suitcase in Lorne's office, and is instantly so nervous that he never does the bit. And so then they have the whole interview, and then he's just like, and it seems like he's like going to get the job. So he's like, it was great to meet you, Mr. Michaels. Thank you. He just stands up with a suitcase and leaves. So he's like, it was in a way even crazier that he thought I brought a suitcase to a comedy interview and never did the bit. So good.
That's
Legendary, man.
So I interviewed Lorne, and then one of the producers was like, stick around for a while. And I was like, okay. So I didn't know what that meant. And then he just put me in a writer's office to just sit there and wait to see. And I didn't know for what. I didn't know what it meant. And so I'm in this office for like an hour or two, hanging out, just like alone. And then the phone rings in the office, like this random writer's office. And so instinctively, I was like, I guess I'll answer it. Why? I mean, it's his office. So I just pick up the phone, and one of the producers who's there also in the building tells me that I got hired. So I'm sitting there. It was so awesome. I was sitting. He called me from another office, and I just answered a random telephone and was told I got hired.
That's so epic.
Yeah, Tina Fey, Philadelphia legend. What was it like being in there first year, going into a room like that?
Oh, very intimidating. I mean, and she had written so many sketches that I love. I didn't even know until I was there. Like, she had written all these. Like, there was one where Christopher Walken is the census taker. I don't know if you've ever seen that one back in the day. It's like him and Tim Meadows. You got to watch it. It's just like pure random nonsense, basically, and which is the kind of sketch I love. I love. And it's so well, every line is a joke in it. Christopher Walken, who's one of the best, it was so good in it. But she had written so many great sketches too. So it's a very intimidating head writer to submit sketches to.
Fuck.
And there was a lot happening that year, because a lot of people, like, I started with Kristen Wiig, Jason Sudeikis, Bill Hader, and Andy Samberg. We were all new together, which is just an insane, truly one of the best groups of
it's fucking
people to come
nuts
in
to think about
to the show, and that was it. They were the 4 actors that came in, and then 2 writers who worked with Andy with The Lonely Island who came in, and Brian Tucker, who had worked at Chappelle's show. And that was our group that we started with. And there were all these cast members that were kind of in their last year. So it was a big transition year. It was the year, like, Tina was leaving, Maya Rudolph was leaving, Rachel Dratch was leaving. A lot of people who had been there. And Tina was starting 30 Rock. So that was like, that process was happening that year. We saw all that, like the show starting up. And so we, as a group, like all these new people, we started figuring out getting our stuff onto the show, like how we could sneak in. And there were some incredible, I was looking back at the episodes from that year, and there's just crazy pairings. Like Steve Martin and Prince was a show.
Oh, shit.
My first episode was Steve Carell and Kanye, which was just just to walk in. Kanye first episode. Tom Hanks and the Red Hot Chili Peppers was a show, which was pretty awesome.
Love it.
Jack Black and Neil Young, pretty
Jesus.
sweet. And then it was like all these great shows. And then the last episode I just saw, the season finale, was Kevin Spacey and Nelly Furtado. It's like, I was like, I'm sure Nelly Furtado is so happy to have that ticket framed in her house now. They're like, what'd you do SNL with? this guy Kevin. So fun. What a great scene. But it was pretty cool. And so many of those people were like my idols.
Was it always SNL for you? Was that always like the gig once you dropped out of economics, or turned away from
everyone,
economics?
If you leave economics, you
You're
typically
just like,
go
all
to
right,
SNL.
SNL. That's the way to go.
We have a ton of just former bankers. It's mostly I would have worked anywhere. I mean, I would have worked, I applied everywhere. I applied and just didn't get, I applied to Letterman. I applied to, Conan. I applied to The Daily Show. I wrote a spec script of Arrested Development when it was on. I wrote a spec script of Scrubs, like shows that were on at that time, and didn't get traction anywhere.
Yeah.
But I would have, of course, loved to work at SNL. I think I didn't let myself believe I could.
Yeah.
And so then when it worked out, it was like,
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was incredible. And it was luckily because I did drop out of
Economics,
any sort of normal job. I think it made it easier on my parents that it was a show they had heard of instead of, going somewhere where they would be still very worried about me. So it was good.
Well, I got to know, you've mentioned all of these ridiculous guests, hosts, musical artists. What was it like having Travis Kelce? Honest take on Travis Kelce as a host.
Fantastic. I hope you know. First of all, I thought it was a great show. Like
Yes, I mean, I had a blast. I don't know how it compared to others, man, but the entire week I was like over the fucking moon, dude. It was insane.
No, you had a perfect approach to it. Obviously, the show, and you threw yourself into it, absolutely committed to everything. And I mean, I hope you come and do it again. It would be fantastic.
Is there any coaching maybe for his next?
Coach me up. Coach me up.
Job? Yeah. What notes?
Coach me up.
I've got I'll look through the game. I'll go through the film. I'll get in the film room. I'll mark a couple things up. Late entrance here. Little dead weight. Inflections wrong here. I'll get in there. I'll do a full dissection.
Went from Australian to British halfway through.
Yeah.
I'm sure the notes would all be for on our own side. Like, we should have written a better joke here. Why didn't we? There were some standouts too. Having the meal at the American Girl store, that was really good.
Oh my fucking God.
I still go back and watch that. I mean, it's absolutely hilarious.
I had so much fun doing that one. I was like, be a creep.
You were a little too good at it, to be honest with you. It was a little.
Well, I think it was
You had spent like months at that just doing research.
I was actually,
It was a method approach.
I was getting porterhouses the entire time there, yeah.
And then you spent like months after you hosted there too. And you were kind of really trying to get people to notice.
I was trying to get
he's really
trying to get my name out there.
You still get like 10% off food there, right? Like anytime, like a lifetime.
Only the steaks, the really high price steaks. And they still card me, Colin. They still card me every time I go in there. And I don't understand. I'm not ordering alcohol or anything that I need of age.
Nikki Glazer hosted, and I did a sketch with her that was like American Girl. They make a larger version of the American Girl dolls, and then instantly it's just like guys coming in like, yeah, I'll get one of those.
That's a banger.
How did it compare for you? Like what you thought going in? Because it's such a blur. Once you're going, it must be such a blur that day.
That's the thing. I went into it with zero expectations. I was like, the one thing I wanted to do was like just be a teammate, let everybody like tell you what to do, how to do it, where to go. Don't try and put your twists on any of the like writing or anything like that. Just go in there and like be present and enjoy the fucking ride. And I think it was the coolest experience I've ever had in my life. Like, it was SNL. I got a text from Peyton Manning giving me advice on, he was like, dude, just buckle up and enjoy the roller coaster and just dive in, just be all in on everything that they're telling you. And that was the best thing I could have heard at that moment, because I was going into it blind, not knowing how everybody was so goddamn funny on SNL. But then I quickly realized, after jumping into all the little writing rooms and hearing everybody try and not necessarily pitch me apart, but get me to understand a part, just how talented everyone is up there, and how much of like a family and unity it is up there. So I just went in with, zero expectations and hoping that I didn't fuck it up on Saturday.
No, not at all. I mean, it's the thing you realize too is, the writers are also nervous and also trying to figure it out. Like, they don't necessarily know what's going to work, and they're trying to figure out what's fun for you to do, or what would be a good look for you to in a scene, or world for a scene,
Which is where if I did it again, I would actually be able to tell them, oh, I can do this kind of accent. I can do this. Like, I just went in there and somebody asked me, all right, do you have any accents you can do? I'm just like, fuck.
We don't want to take up too much more of your time. We got a last section. We got
I have no friends, nowhere to go. I have nothing.
Never mind then. We will be here.
I don't want to see my kids. No, whatever you.
You are starting season 2 of Pop Culture Jeopardy.
Oh, yeah.
On Netflix.
Yes, that's right.
You are an economic Harvard, well, I guess you didn't graduate with economy, but economics.
I graduated in pop culture.
Graduated
over.
There we go.
Would you be better at regular Jeopardy or Pop Culture Jeopardy?
Oh, 100% regular.
Really?
Yes. And I don't think I'd be very good at Jeopardy. Like, I'm not really a good trivia. The thing I realized I said, it almost is like a Yogi Berra phrase. I literally told someone, I'm good at trivia if I know the answer. Like, right. But it's like, there's certain things I know well, but I don't have I have huge blind spots in anything, but Jeopardy, the level of knowledge and the breadth of knowledge that people have as Jeopardy contestants is so impressive.
It's crazy.
Pop culture is even crazier to me because it changes so much, and there's so many eras of pop culture. And this is definitely weighted more recent, which is sad because when there's the category about the 90s, that's the one I feel like I can get.
I'm on this, yeah.
And weirdly, sometimes that's a category where no one will get an answer now. And that just makes me feel very sad and old.
As two guys who are also of the +1 fraternity and have this same experience, how nice is it to be the less famous person in your relationship?
Huge relief. Really huge relief. It's really funny because I feel like I think I'm probably almost approached more because she's less approachable. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I feel like because I'm on TV, I have like a lesser, people are just like, I'm in their living room. So they're just like, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? She's actually almost like so famous that they don't believe it a lot of times too. Like we've been traveling, and we've been standing at the passport check, and the person's looking at her passport, and he'll be like, has anyone ever told you look like Scarlett Johansson? Genuinely asking, and not real, even though he's looking at her name, because he's like, it would be weirder if it was her, and just give it back to her and not think it's a really kind of awesome.
That's amazing.
Shout out to the +1s out there.
The other thing I've noticed too is that if we're ever ordering food, the order is not going to be right. Because if we go buy a sandwich or something, she'll order and the person will recognize her and then doesn't write down nothing about the sandwich. Just completely distracted. All the ingredients are wrong. Yeah. We'll open the sandwich and nothing is.
What did she say again?
Yeah, it's really funny. It's like bread and just like a pickle. And that's it. Yeah, it's good. I feel like it's we can commiserate.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm on the team.
So hard.
I'm here for it.
You also, it was hard as a stand-up because I would have jokes about either the idea of dating or the idea of marriage or what that is. I just can't. There's nothing that will. I can't be like, she's nagging me about this. Everyone's like, shut the fuck up. It eliminated that part of stand-up.
All right. Well, can you please tell us, our next question, can you please tell us about the time Jimmy Buffett saved your life?
Oh my God, with pleasure. It was really pretty, RIP, what a great dude. Like, yes. Really, I was randomly seated next to him at a dinner I was there with, I was dating a girl at the time who was there with friends who were working at Vice magazine. And I was just randomly seated next to him, and I had never met him before, and I didn't know it was him. And so it was like, over the course of dinner, and he was like, I surf, and he heard that, and he was like, oh, he just wanted to talk about surfing because he loves surfing. And only after a while, I sort of noticed little subtle hints that it might be Jimmy Buffett. Like he would say something like, whenever I open a new Margaritaville, I like to go and find somewhere to surf near where the Margaritaville is. And I was like, this might be Jimmy Buffett.
Interesting.
And then he was really gracious and knew I liked to surf. So he's like, I'm going to go surf tomorrow morning out in I think it's like the west coast of St. Bart's, like a more remote area. Why don't you come surf? And I was like, oh my God, of course. This is fantastic. So I went to meet him, and I got there, and I kind of immediately realized that maybe it was a thing where he said like, oh, you should come by sometime, but didn't mean it. You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, come hang. And I was like, great, I will. I'll be there tomorrow morning. And suddenly I was like, am I psychotic that I just took him up on this? And it was just like him and his family. And then there was like a surf instructor that was out there that was just kind of helping them. Yeah. And he lent me a board, and we went out, and I kind of was hanging back, and they all caught waves like in a row at this. And again, no one was there. It was kind of amazing. Like no one was at this break. It was like a nice sort of 5-6 foot wave rolling in. And then I finally was like, I'm going to catch a wave. And I caught a wave. And I remember when we were going out, swimming out, Jimmy was like, be careful when you get into shallower water, because there's a lot of rocks. Like, don't ride it all the way in. Yeah. And again, because it's him and I'm talking to him and I'm excited, I didn't pay attention to any of the advice at all. Completely ignored it. And then rode the wave all the way in, and went to turn around on my board and paddle back, and I like couldn't paddle forward. I was like, I didn't know why. And then I realized that my leash had been stuck under one of the famous rocks he had told me about. And I couldn't get out, and the waves were coming. And so I couldn't reach down and get it. I was like trying to tug it out, which probably was making it worse. And I was stuck. And he was like, are you okay in there? And again, I was like trying to play it cool. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm great. Cool. I love it. I love all this water I'm swallowing. I'm doing great. And then I started getting like kind of nervous because I couldn't get loose of this rock. And so he sort of sensed it and the instructor there had like a knife. That he would just probably for this reason, like if someone got like the way you would in scuba diving, like have a little knife. And so he swam and cut my leash off and got me out and got me back out there. And then literally he was like, I think that down the beach might be more your speed. Like you might like it over there. And then of course I was like, oh no, I destroyed Jimmy's leash. And so like the next morning I found like a surf shop in St. Bart's where a leash costs like $2,000.
Surf mechanic.
St. Bart's leash.
Yeah.
And then bought it and brought it all the way back because I was like, I can't leave him with this broken leash. And of course, like he wasn't there, and the guy who was there was like, you did not need to do this. He has like 100 leads, it's fine. But I was like, I should do this. And then and that's the last time that I got to surf with him.
R.I.P. the legend, man.
Very cool story.
Incredible.
God damn, that's good.
Lastly, what's your welcome to SNL moment?
Like, what do you mean? Like when I was welcome there, like, or if I welcome someone there?
So it's more like we asked this to like NFL players, anybody in their field. Like when was it where you were like, oh my God, I'm doing this. Like I'm at SNL.
Like a welcome to Hollywood moment, welcome to the NFL moment.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
One of them was I was like getting like I was doing pretty well as a writer. And I remember Lorne saying, can you come into my office? And I went into his office, and Mick Jagger was there. And he was like, Mick Jagger is doing a show in Indianapolis tomorrow. Do you have any jokes he could do?
Oh, no. Oh, man.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, what? I'm thinking like, of all things Mick Jagger needs, it's not jokes. He doesn't need, he could say anything and people are going to scream.
Eat it up. And
on the spot, I was like, just trying to think about what I was like, does he want to joke about Indianapolis? Like, what kind of jokes? I was like, what jokes do you do normally, Mr. Jagger? That was definitely I don't even know what I said. I feel like because I also didn't even know he was going to be in there.
That's crazy.
That was a real welcome to Hollywood moment. And then, God, I'm trying to think of like what another one is for me. Like there's just like, I don't know, through I think one of the ones still even more recent, which was just like it's like keeping it in mind as I go through it. Because I still have ones that are
of course,
shocking when I put them in context. Yeah. And I remember opening for Chappelle at Radio City, which was like a couple dreams come true. That was really awesome. And then I was going to LA and he was going to LA and he was like, let's go to a Lakers game. And so like we went to a Lakers game together and we're in like the player, they just immediately, wherever he goes, they're like, wherever you want to go in the stadium, you're welcome. So like we're in the players tunnel and he's like, you want to smoke? And I'm like, sure. I'll smoke. I never smoke, but I was like, I did. I was like, you want to smoke a cigarette? I'm like, sure, no problem. I would love that. I'll look totally natural doing it. So we're like smoking. We're smoking in Lakers Arena there and in the Staples Center. Yeah. And then someone's like, do you want to meet Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? He's coming over here. He's like, there's a little lounge. It's like Kareem. It's just like a couple people hanging out, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That was a moment where I just was thinking, this is a great, like, what a wonderful combination of
fucking
fun
epic
folks to be in a little lounge.
Yeah, that's a pinch me moment. That sounds like a fucking dream.
Yeah, and it's very nice when you get to work with people that you love, especially it's an athlete, yourself included. Like LeBron coming to host, Peyton coming to host, like that. Those are really those are moments that you kind of can't believe that you get to do that, because you writing for people that you love, like Larry David or Julia Dreyfus or people who are comedians is already. But then when it's an athlete, it's like a double thing of you never thought you'd get to do it, or a musician, like writing something for Nicki Minaj or writing something that's like totally. A thing, different out of your world. It's the best. It's so cool. That's why the job is just, who else gets to work with those combinations of people over those years? It's pretty amazing. I feel very lucky.
Well, you should, dude. I appreciate the stories, man. Thank you for the time, the stories, all the above. Thank you for all the fucking laughs on SNL. The season 51 finale airs May 16th. At 11:30 Eastern, as everyone knows, and we cannot fucking wait to watch it on NBC Peacock with host Will Ferrell and musical guest Sir Paul McCartney. Enjoy it, dude. Awesome. Can't wait to fucking see it, man.
Pleasure. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, and also starting May 11th, new episodes of Pop Culture Jeopardy will premiere on Netflix. So every weekend.
Check that out. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Enjoy it, ladies and gentlemen.
I will say, if you're a Jeopardy fan and a pop culture fan, there are some episodes that are incredible television. Like the gameplay, it will blow your mind. Like there's semifinals and the final.
There's something really unexpected and kind of adorable that fans are talking about right now. Scarlett Johansson as one of Hollywood's biggest stars, confident, elegant, and someone who always seems calm and composed on the red carpet. But according to Colin Jost, there's one thing that instantly brings out her inner superfan. And yes, it's Taylor Swift. During a light-hearted conversation, Colin revealed something that caught a lot of people by surprise. He shared that Scarlett is a huge Taylor Swift fan, and not just in a casual I like a few songs kind of way. Apparently, she's completely obsessed with one particular classic, Love Story. And honestly, that instantly made fans smile. Because Love Story isn't just another song. It's one of those tracks that takes people back to a specific moment in life. The second those opening notes start playing, Suddenly people remember school days, old crushes, first heartbreaks, and those memories you thought you forgot. It became more than music, it became a feeling. So hearing that Scarlett Johansson, someone millions of people admire, has the same reaction as everyday fans feels strangely relatable. Just imagine this for a second. One of the biggest actresses in the world, sitting somewhere casually, and then Love Story starts playing. Suddenly she knows every lyric, starts singing along, maybe even gets a little too excited. It's funny because no matter how famous someone becomes, music still has a way of making everyone feel normal. And Colin seemed genuinely amused while talking about it. You could almost picture him laughing while exposing one of Scarlett's sweetest little secrets. Couples always do that, right? They reveal tiny things about each other that make everyone go, wait, seriously? Fans immediately started reacting online because people love seeing this side of celebrities. Not the perfectly polished version, not the movie star image, just real moments. Because sometimes we forget that celebrities are fans too. Scarlett Johansson has starred in massive films, walked countless red carpets, and worked with some of the biggest names in entertainment. But at the end of the day, she can still be the person who hears a Taylor Swift song and instantly turns into a fan. And honestly, who can blame her? Love Story was one of those songs that defined an era. It had romance, emotion, drama, everything. The lyrics felt like a movie scene unfolding in real time. People didn't just listen to it, they lived inside it. Maybe that's why it still hits years later. And perhaps that's exactly why Scarlett connected with it too. Because certain songs don't age. They stay with people. The funniest part is imagining Colin discovering just how serious this obsession really is. At first maybe he thought, okay, she likes Taylor Swift. Then later he realized, no, this is a full experience. This is singing every word, replaying favorite songs, maybe getting extra excited whenever Taylor appears somewhere. And fans online instantly loved this image. Because suddenly Scarlett Johansson wasn't just a movie star anymore. She became someone standing right beside millions of Swift fans around the world. Moments like this remind people why Taylor Swift's music continues connecting with audiences. Her songs somehow reach everyone: students, parents, athletes, actors, and apparently even Hollywood superstars. So now fans are left with one hilarious thought. Somewhere out there, Scarlett Johansson might still be singing, "You'll be the prince and I'll be the princess," with full energy. And honestly, that image is pretty iconic.